One of my favorite anti-meta decks is powered up now with what appears to be a combo meta variant. We also have some Plunder Patrol action out here. And is that Labrynth as well? Yeah, it is. Big 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Please, if you're playing new format here, obviously, it's past June 5th at this point. If you've played something interesting, see something interesting, please send over your deck list. I'd love the chance to actually, talk about some of this stuff, showcase some of this stuff, because this is interesting to me. So this was our second place out of new format. Yeah, I know, this is a lot of cached era stuff, but we're also following it up with Heliotrope, good stuff, into the Ophion. Imagine a world where you were Riseheart Ophion, you look at your opponent and you offer the dirtiest handshake, look on your face that you've ever had. That's what it's like to play this deck. I feel like this is literally crazy. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We got triple copies of Caster, 2 copies of Karikion, 1 copy of Mandragora, triple copies of Fenrir with 1 copy of Ogre. We have triple copies of Riseheart. You have 2 little Unicrons with triple Rescue Rabbit. We also have 1 Scareclaw Cashtira, triple copies of Heliotrope. We have 2 copies of Pandemic, triple copies of Birth, which is going to allow this deck to actually do its thing. I will gladly normal summon, additionally, every single time I choose. We also have triple copies of Kashtira Theosis, triple Potter Prosperity, triple Ray Sloth, 1 Rhoda, 1 Terraforming, 1 Big Bang, and 1 Preparations. Then we have 1 Origin, 1 Steel Swarm Roach, 1 Baguski, 1 Big Eye with 1 Dracosec, 2 copies of Shangri-Ira, 1 Riseheart, 1 Cowboy, 2 Ophion, 1 Exciton Knight, 2 Zeus, and 1 copy of Dweller. Then we have triple copies of Dimension Shifter, 1 Pinkertops, triple copies of Drone Lockbird, triple Nibiru, triple Book of Moon, and 2 copies of Lightning Storm here, wrapping up one of the most hilarious things that I have seen so far. Next up here is some Plunder Patrol action. So I was looking at a couple deck lists as, we're gearing into new format here, and this was one of the lists that was perfectly untouched, 100% able to be transitioned over, and you're actually probably going to be looking at this going, wow, Plunder Patrol kind of looking, kind of nice this format. I think this deck is one of the more interesting roguish picks available to you out here. And that's definitely something to really consider out here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of the Sea Guide, triple copies of the Shipwright, triple copies of Ghost Mourner Moonlit Chill, triple copies of Ghost Ogi. We got triple copies of the newest Plunder Patrol Golden Hair. We have 1 Illegal Knight with triple Space Rock, 1 copy of the Redbeard. We have 1 Griffin Rider with your triple Water Enchantress, your triple copies of Whitebeard, and then we have 1 Dracoback, your 1 Emblem, your 1 copy of Faithful Adventure, your 1 Foolish Burial, your 1 Forest of the Lost Flowers, and then we have 1 copy of the Shipping, triple Shipyard, triple Rite of Armesier, and of course we have 1 Terraforming, your triple Infinite Impermanence, and 1 copy of the Plunder Patrol Booty. Then we have 1 Almirage, your triple copies of the Plunder Patrol Captain, 2 copies of the Morik, and then we have 1 White Aura Whale. We have 2 copies of the Jord, 2 copies of the Bran. We have 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then we have 1 copy of Dragite, and 2 copies of the Lice. And then we have triple copies of DD Crow, 1 Pinkertops, and then of course, you can't forget the most important part of this deck, Kaijus. So we have 1 Doggeron, 1 Gameciel, 1 Kumamungus, 1 Radion, and 1 Thunder King. You'd think with all of that, they would actually play some Interrupted Kaijus, but no. We also have triple Dimensional Bear here and triple Rivalry of the Warlords here, wrapping up, your Plunder Patrol good stuff. Next up here is Labrynth, sporting off a Wannabe. Now, I've seen Wannabe actually kind of popping up a lot more right now. I'm not saying that the card is crazy broken. I think it's an interesting option. It does effectively, bait and negate from the opponent. So I guess that's something at the end of the day. As long as you can toggle something like that, seems like it can be worthwhile if need be. But all these good traps going into your turn that you could possibly have. So we have 2 copies of Ariana, triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, triple copies of Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle. We also have triple Lava Golem with 1 lovely Labrynth, and 2 copies of Wannabe. Then we have 1 Pot of Extravagance, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity. We also have triple Big Welcome Labrynth with 2 Destructive Daruma Cannon. We have 1 Dimensional Barrier with 2 copies of Punishment, 2 copies of Gozen Match, triple copies of Skill of the Drain, 1 Terrors of the Overroot, 2 There Can Only Be 1, 2 Torrential Tribute, 1 Trap Trick, and triple copies of Welcome Labyrinth. Down in the extra deck, a lot of punishment targets as per usual. So we have 1 Tri-Brigade Frigette, 1 Bucephalus, 2 Bucephalus 2, 1 Anima with 2 Lingaribos, we have 1 Aggregator, 1 Zeus with 1 Dinglisu, we have 1 Malong, 1 Chaos Angel with 1 Garua, 1 Fossil Warrior, and 2 copies of Inins. Then we have 1 copy of Evilswarm with triple Bysteel. This feels like a very recurring theme. We have triple Dimensional Shifter with 1 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. We also have 1 DDV, 1 Dimensional Barrier, 1 EEV, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here. Wrapping up another standardized control variant out here. You kind of just pick which trap variants, or, you know, if you want to main deck the EV. It's all going to kind of come down to localized environment and how you feel that your meta is going to need to, you know, handle this. All right, next up here we have Runic. You know, losing this card down to 1 doesn't feel that bad, because you still have all of these good cards. As long as your deck is able to, you know, play through this, and they don't even care. All right, Floodgates are still going to be one of the best things, especially, you know, leaving Skill Drain at 3 when it really wasn't, and maybe a few side applications here or there. It's not even like that crazy right now. So we have triple copies of Hand 'em Up Lava Golem, triple copies of Mentions Your Piece, 2 copies of Pot of Duality with triple copies of Pot of Extravagance. We also have triple copies of Runic Destruction with your 1 Dispelling. We have triple copies of Flashing Fire, 2 copies of The Fountain, triple copies of Curses, 1 Droplet. We have triple Slumber with triple Runic Tip, and we are playing 1 copy of the Time Tearing Morganite. You actually kind of have to play this. Getting the extra draw power from this actually is kind of important. We also have triple copies of Gozen Match, triple copies of Skill Drain, and triple copies of There Can Only Be 1. Wrapping up your main deck. Down here in the extra deck, we are playing 2 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Donner, triple copies of Moonin, triple copies of Hugin, triple copies of my friend Gary, and triple copies of Frecky. We're also citing triple copies of Inspector Border. Do not underestimate how good this card is. You'll be dropping these. We also have triple copies of the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode, triple copies of Vanity's Fiend, and then, of course, triple copies of Dark Bribe here. Wrapping up your Runic experience, a little bit of adjusting that's got to happen here for, you know, post-list shenanigans, but I actually quite like Morganite here as an option tree for this. Just, it's a one-of. Like, you're not going to try to play 3 of this. I know people try to get crazy out here. Next up here is Kashtira post-ban list. So you've probably seen me showcase a lot of this, but I wanted to throw in one more here from Asian Persuasion. Just kind of showcase some of the options that people kind of bring into the table here. Hi, Evenly Matched. I'm glad to see that you are back in action. So we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, triple copies of Dimension Shifter, 2 copies of Ghost Bell with 2 copies of Moonlit Chill. Of course, we have triple copies of Fenrir, 1 Ghost Ogie with 2 copies of Rise Heart. We have 2 copies of Unicorn, 1 copy of Scareclaw Kashtira. We have 1 Called by the Grave with triple copies of Birth, triple copies of Theosis, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity with triple Raceloth, and then we have 1 Terraforming, 2 copies of Talents, triple copies of Imperm, 1 Big Bang, and 1 Preparations. Then down in the extract, we have 1 Lingaribo, 1 Goliath with 1 Donner. We also have 1 Red Eye Slur Metal, 1 Big Eye, 2 Shangri-La, 1 Arise Heart, 2 Zeus, 1 copy of Dark Arm Dragon, 1 Omega, 1 Baron, 1 Garua, and 1 Ints. And then we have triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Dark Roller, triple Forbidden Droplet, triple Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Magic Deflector here. Wrapping up your chunk of goodies today. So once again, if you guys have had anything interesting, I don't want to see, Meta Smasher 9000, the same obligatory sprite deck over and over. But if you got something that was relatively interesting, please, my socials are down below. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. And you guys stay safe out there. Have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.